Searching for Nelsa Lowe by Hannah Lowe. I'd always known I had an aunt named Nelsa in Jamaica, one of my father's many Afro-Chinese half-brothers and sisters. I'd also known, for as long as I can remember, that she had taken her own life before I was born. I recall my dad saying she had a bad thing for men, or perhaps it was a thing for bad men. When my half-brother Rob cleared out his mother's house 6 or 7 years ago, he came home with a portrait photograph of Nelsa, the only one I've ever seen. She must have posted it to my father in London. The inscription says, "To Ralph from Nelsa, with all my love, 6th of August 1955. But if you look closely, you'll see she's signed her name Moi, then crossed it out. Moi in Cantonese means little sister, a term of endearment and familiarity, and was, I came to find out, the name Nelsa was known by in Kingston. But before this, I only had the photograph to go on, and one reference in the digital archives of the Gleaner, which mentions her ownership of the Moby Dick, a famous downtown Kingston restaurant, and refers to her as the legendary Nelsa Lowe. My search to know more about my aunt has taken me back to Jamaica several times and to the few people still alive who knew her, 2 of whom told me that my aunt was a well-known figure in Kingston in the 1960s, not just as a restaurant hostess, but as the proprietress of a waterfront brothel. But women like my aunt, despite her success in business, are rarely memorialised, not least because she worked in a subterranean and illegal industry. A photograph, a brief mention in a newspaper, a death certificate, a man who knew my aunt in passing 50 years ago. How to reconstruct her life with so little to go on? And whose story is it to tell? From the beginning, I was mindful of the ethics of writing Nelsa's story. I hope I have walked the terrain of this project with enough care. Over months, I have corresponded with writers and thinkers across the world, experts in Caribbean women's lives, in the Chinese Caribbean, in sex work, but also those from the world of esotericism, a tarot reader in Bethnal Green, a medium in California, readers of the I Ching, the ancient book of Chinese divination. I've also called on artists to respond to Nelsa's photo, and one by one, letters and artwork devoted to my aunt arrived in the post, including this image from the photographic artist Dominique Knock, who coloured in my aunt's portrait. All of these responses and conversations opened my mind much more fully to my aunt Nelsa's story, rooting her in my mind and heart so surely I've often felt she's here beside me as I write.